Hey everybody, this is Andrew from TS for Tech. And in today's video, I'm taking a look at this mini PC from ACEMAGIC. Now, I have done quite a few reviews on the channel with mini PCs recently, and a handful of them already from ACEMAGIC. So if you've seen any of those, you know that they're pretty performant PCs from a price to the performance perspective and ratio. And you get a lot of value, I think, and you do get a lot of value for your money. So this is the ACEMAGIC S1, and this is an Intel 12th Gen Alder Lake-N95 chip in there. So N95 up to 3.4 gigahertz boost speed, and this thing comes in at about $189. Now that you can get some discounts, give or take, with a coupon or whatnot. And there's some sales that often are run. But so for under $200, you can get a pretty capable machine. Now this one is actually pretty cool because it does have an LCD display on the front, so it can give you some information about the PC, CPU power, some of the different temperatures, fan speeds, and things like that. And I do believe there's some software that you can customize that within Windows, so we'll have to take a look at that. But I thought that was pretty neat. And this one also can stand up vertically or be horizontal on your desk or wherever you put it. So this one in particular does have a terabyte of space. So it has a SSD of 1 terabyte, 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's black in color, and it's the US spec for power, cord, and all of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this, open it up. Now it actually comes in a pretty cool box. So nice packing. I mean, I guess not that it really matters so much, but it's kind of cool. Now, at this price point in the chipset and all of that, I think a lot of people will probably like to, you could use this for just a productivity machine, a multimedia machine, home server, right? Obviously, you can use it for home school work and all of that, web browsing. So what's kind of cool, though, is it does have dual LAN ports, so that opens up a little bit more flexibility if you're looking to run some sort of home server or like a pfSense router or something like that. This might make like a really compelling device for those use cases. So inside you have the machine itself. Go ahead and open that up. And it's, as you can tell, it's pretty small. It's pretty small and compact. There's Intel inside, ACEMAGIC. There's the front of it. It has a couple USB ports, power button, or the top of it, I mean. And there's that LCD display there. So that's what it looks like. I'll kind of put that to the side. So obviously you get a small little user manual that kind of goes through setting it up or the different pieces and parts that are there. Also get a wall adapter. So this is pretty low power. It doesn't need a huge brick. Just kind of a wall plug with a barrel jack connector. They also give you a HDMI cable, which is nice. And then this is actually a mounting plate. So like if you want to set this in a vertical orientation, you can put this on the bottom. So, and it just attaches with magnets. And it's also slotted because there's vents there. So if you put this on here, then you don't block the vents, which is actually a nice feature. So it's got some rubber feet on the bottom. So if you're going to use it this way, stand it up, you can use that. Otherwise, you can just put it down like that because it also does have rubber feet on the side. Now this also has a magnetic side piece here, so you can kind of just pull at it up there and open it up. And then on the inside, you have access to the memory. So this is a single slot motherboard, so you can only have one stick of memory in there. So like I said, this is a 16 gig. So that somewhat limits the expansibility because you can't add 2 sticks of memory, right? So if you're gonna upgrade this and try to get a 32, you'll have to take out the 16. And it is name brand memory. As you can see, it's a Lexar memory. And then there's the SSD. So this does have an M2 NVMe SSD slot. So basically, there's 2 slots. One of them is SATA only, and then one of them is SATA or PCIe. So depending on the type of drive you put in there, it can either be a PCIe or a SATA. So that's basically it, right? Really easy access and just magnetically attaches. Just like that. In the back here, you can see you have the power, 2 HDMIs, 2 LAN ports, the aux audio out, Kensington lock. On the front, you have 4 USB slots. And like I said, the front has this LCD display there. Obviously not turned on. So pretty cool device, pretty compact. So again, the specs are Intel 12th Gen Alder Lake-N95, Intel UHD graphics, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD. This has 802.11 AC or Wi-Fi 6, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz dual band, has Bluetooth 5.2, and the dual LAN ports. So super cool. What I'm going to do here is go ahead and plug this in, get it set up, and this does come preloaded with Windows 11 Pro. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, set this up, and as usual, we'll run some benchmarks, some tests, and just see how it performs. So let's hop on over and check it out. So the first thing I was doing here, I just was booting up the machine and just kind of looking at the task manager and just seeing what was going on. So it looks like it was probably downloading some updates. As you can see, the Wi-Fi is, downloading some stuff. It's doing some disk writing, obviously, because it's downloading. The CPU is not going too high. Memory usage is generally okay. So I just wanted to kind of take a look at that when it first booted up. And you can see base speed of 1.7 gigahertz, and then obviously it's fluctuating as the CPU is being used and what the boost speed is. And then here I did run Crystal Disk Mark, and it did get pretty good speeds, right? So this is an NVMe drive in here, so you're seeing 1700s, 1600s on the read and writes. So overall performing pretty well there. Now this does come loaded with a couple different softwares. This one is the RGB lighting, which lights up that strip there on the bottom that you can see that I just kind of showed. And there's some different modes and brightnesses and speeds and things you can use for that. And the other software is related to the LCD panel, and you can change the different themes, the orientations, what you want to show up for that. You can also do and customize it, which is what I did there. And then I was just kind of flipping through some of the samples, as you can see on the bottom right. So it's pretty powerful. The one thing I did notice is that this thing only works for Windows. So if you're going to install Linux or anything else on that, the panel is just going to default to, say, ACEMAGIC. Now here I also was testing out NovaBench, right? So I haven't used this one before, but some folks that I know recommended to take a look at this. So I used NovaBench. You can see CPU, GPU, memory, primary storage, information around that. And then I did run the test, and then I'll show you the results here in a second. And as you can see, I need to take a look at what overall, like how NovaBench corresponds to like Geekbench and things like that. But this is the information that it kind of spit out here. So I'll kind of let it click around and show you what the results are. And then I also did run Geekbench, and it gets a 1211 single core and a 2885 multi-core score, which are, it's probably about the same as other N95 machines that I've looked at on the channel before. These types of processors all, end up in this general score range as I've seen. And then for the OpenCL GPU score, it got a 3164. And so the last thing I did here was just kind of like a streaming test just to see how this would play a YouTube video. I didn't want to use anything else because I didn't want to get a copyright strike, but I was just playing another one of the ACEMAGIC gaming PC reviews I did in the past, and it was fine, right? So it streams fine, no lagging, no issues. Obviously, if you click around, it's going to take a second to load, but yeah, overall, streaming worked well. I did use it on Amazon Prime and Netflix just to play a few things in full screen. Again, not going to show that here because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but it worked really well. Now, is this the most performant mini PC that I've tested on the channel? No, obviously not, right? With this chipset, the N95, and just the way that that chip performs, it's more of an economical, lower powered chip. And, obviously you can do all the things, use it for office productivity work, web browsing, school work, business. You can use it probably as a home theater PC. It does do streaming pretty well. The hard drive is fast if you have local things on there that you're trying to play or transfer or copy or anything like that. Kind of like a mini server. With the dual port set up on the LAN, you can set this up as some sort of network appliance, which I will try to do in another video. Maybe install pfSense and set this up on my network. I don't know about that yet. Let me know if that's something that interests you, because I don't want to just waste my time if no one cares. But that's something that is nice about this with the dual LAN ports. It kind of gives you the ability to use it for other things on your network. I will link to this in the description. Obviously, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post those below and I'll try to answer. This is Andrew from TS for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.